Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Commerce with Namita. I'm Namita Mane. In today's video, let us discuss about written communication. So this is a part of business communication class SYBCOM. So in today's lecture, we are going to study the introduction of written communication, then meaning, forms or types of written communication, utility of written communication, advantages and limitations of written communication. So let's start the session. Introduction. Now, the English word communication comes from Latin word communicare, which means to impart or participate or transmit. What does communication means? Communication means to share the information with each other. So communication is a process of exchanging idea, feelings, information, thoughts and emotions through speech, signals, writing or behavior. So what is communication? Communication is a process of exchanging what? Ideas, feelings, information, thoughts, emotions through speech means either orally, signals means non-verbal communication, writing or by your body language between two people. Written communication is a verbal communication. Verbal communication is a communication where words are used to communicate with each other. So there are two types of verbal communication. One is oral communication and second is written communication. So in today's lecture we are going to talk about written communication. So meaning of written communication. The exchange of facts, information, ideas in written form is known as written communication. What is written communication? The written communication is what? Exchanging or sharing the information or ideas in written form with other person is called as written communication. Written communication includes letters, documents, email, reports, handbook, brochure, various chat platforms, SMS and any other form of written communication between people. So written communication is what? Exchanging the information, okay, in written form. So written form can be either in the form of letters, in the form of emails, reports, then in the form of SMS between the people. So next is written communication means sending of message, order or instructions in writing through letters, circular, manuals, report, telegram, office memo, bulletin, etc. So this is the meaning of written communication. Now what are the types of forms of written communication? Means in which form you can communicate in a written way with other person. First is email. Now email stands for what? Electronic mail. The message transmitted means the message transferred by the electronic means from one computer user to one or more recipient means receivers with the use of network is termed as email. So through email, if you want to send the message from one person to other person, here you are using what? Internet. So that is what? A written communication and it is called as email. Second type is business letter. So business letters or any type of letters is a document which is in writing, okay, which is written by one company to another company or by a company to its client, customers or any other external parties. So what are business letters? Business letters are the letters which are used for official work in a company. So one company can send a letter to other company, it can be for supply, it can be for the customers, it can be for any other clients. So that will come under written communication. Next is memorandum. In short, memorandum is called as memo. So it is a written informal brief, note, record, reminder or summary used as mean of communication or to outline the term of agreement. Next form of written communication is circulars and notice. So circular and notice is a kind of written announcement that is distributed to large number of people to convey any commercial or non-commercial message at a minimum time, cost and efforts. So circulars are circulated to large number of people if you want to communicate. Okay, so it is circulated at a large number of people. So it is basically what? A written announcement to large number of people at one time. There are next new forms of written communication like PowerPoint presentation, PPT, journal, reports, advertisement, press release, news, paper, then brochure. Next form of written communication is fax. Fax is a medium by which the extract copy of a document is made by electronic scanning and transmitted as a data by telecommunication link. So these are the forms of written communication. Now next we'll see the utility of written communication. So how written communication is useful? So written communication is useful in the following situation. First, if the message is of permanent nature. If the message is of permanent nature. So when the message is of permanent nature, means it is a permanent, and if you want to store that message for long time, so the written communication can be used. So when the message is of permanent nature and has to be kept for a long time, then written communication is suitable. Like government policies or any rules and regulations are to be made. So these government policies, some guidelines, some rules are stored for long time. So that's why this government policies or guidelines are for permanent this thing. So written communication is suitable for them. So written communication is accepted as a record and evidence, such as policies, guidelines, rules, technical information, etc. So policies, rules, guidelines, technical informations are always stored as a evidence as well as for record. So written communication is suitable for the permanent, if the message is permanent in nature. Next, when receivers are at different place. Yes, when the receivers of the message, okay, are located at different place and at different places, okay, and they are too far from the sender. So the sender can send the message to the receiver through letters, okay. So the receiver can receive the message. Next, when message is long. When the message is lengthy and not possible for the sender to explain it orally, and also it is hard for the receiver to remember, then written communication becomes important. Yes, this is absolutely right. When the message is too long and it is impossible for the sender to explain it orally, and obviously if it is difficult for the sender to explain it orally, simultaneously it will be difficult for the receiver also to remember that message. That's why if the message is too long, okay, that time written communication is a best to use. It becomes an important part. Then when message contains graphics. So when the message requires any pictures, image, figures, then written communication is suitable. So these were the utilities of written communication. Next we'll move to the advantages of written communication. Now what are the advantages or benefits of the written communication? It is suitable for lengthy message. As I said earlier that written communication is suitable for lengthy messages. Written communication plays important role in clearly communicating and making clear understanding of lengthy message. In oral communication you cannot communicate for lengthy messages. Oral communication is not suitable for lengthy messages. Only written communication is suitable for lengthy messages. Why? Because you can communicate clearly and the receiver will understand the message properly. Next, written proof. Written communication provides the feature of record keeping, as some documents are kept for future reference. Yes, written communication, as it is written on a document, on a piece of paper, and it can be kept as a evidence, it can be kept as a record, and these records or these documents can be used for future references if it is needed. Then clear message. When the message is long, then written communication helps in clear understanding of the message, and it also helps in better understanding the message by using the graphic. So if the message is in a written form, obviously it will be written in a clear sentences, clear message will be sent to the receiver. Next is less expensive and time saving method. Written communication proves to be less costly when the receivers are located at the different places. The use of email, we can send the message globally in the minimum time and with minimum expenses. So written communication is what? Less expensive. Okay, it doesn't need too much of cost, and it is time saving. Why? Because if you are sending a message through emails, so it can be sent globally, okay, in a few seconds, and there will be no expenses also in sending the message in the form of email. Next advantage of written communication is presence of both the parties not necessary. Now in written communication, the presence of both the parties of communication is not necessary, but it depends on the situation. Okay, in every situation the content is important, right? So in some situation the presence of both the parties not necessary, but in other situation or the content, the parties are the presence of both the party may be needed over there. So written communication, here in written communication the presence of both the parties is not necessary. The message will be delivered to the receiver whenever he is available. Okay, like if you are sending the message through email, if you are sending the message through letters or in a form of SMS, so whenever the receiver is available, he will receive the message and he will read the message. Okay, that's why there is one advantage of written communication, that the presence of sender and the receiver may not be necessary. Now accurate and effective. Now written communication serves as a proof. Okay, written communication is used as what? As a proof for future reference. So whenever the sender is writing the message in a written form, he has to check the message, okay, okay, so he has to check the message properly and then he can send the message. So the sender must double check the content of the message, which results into the more accurate and effective message. So written communication is kept as what? As a evidence, as a proof okay, for future reference. So that's why the sender, whoever is going to prepare that message, he or she is going to cross check that message, okay, for 2-3 times. And once the cross checking of the message is done for 2-3 times, that's why the message is more accurate and it is more effective also. Now next we'll move to the limitations of written communication. First is or we can say that disadvantage of written communication. First is not suitable for uneducated person, means illiterate person. Now written communication is not suitable for illiterate person. Illiterate person means the person who is not able to read, who is not able to write. So whenever the audience means the receiver is illiterate, then written communication is not suitable as they are not able to read and write. Okay, so here for illiterate person, oral communication can be helpful or can be useful for them, but written communication is not useful for illiterate person. Lack of secrecy, as the message is in a written form. Okay, so the message is in a written form. If the message or that letter into which form you are sending the message delivers in the wrong hand, okay, the wrong person receives the message, so it will lose the confidentiality and it will be a big loss for sender as well as to the receiver also. So lack of secrecy or privacy is not maintained in written communication if the message is delivered to the wrong person. Next is wastage of time. So this is one disadvantage of written communication, or like wastage of time. Why? Because to type the message or to write the message, it will take time. So drafting of message in written form takes lot of time. Next is delay feedback. Yes, in written communication there will be a delay in feedback. So in oral communication, after knowing the reaction of the receiver, the sender can easily alter the message. Okay, sender will immediately understand the feedback from the receiver, but in written communication it will not be possible for the this thing to alter the message. Why? Because the feedback from the receiver, the sender will get late. Okay, but so that's why in written communication lack of this feature means lacks in this feature of delay in feedback. There will be no quick feedback in the written communication, but in oral communication there will be a quick feedback. Okay, so this is the advantage for the oral communication. This delay in feedback is what a disadvantage for the written communication. So these were the limitations of written communication. Thank you. I hope you have understood today's topic. If you have liked this video, please subscribe my channel, like and share the video. Thank you.